My name's Chris Gibbs from Western Ohio, and I'm a farmer. I was in my local Republican leadership for 20 years. I was chair of my county Republican Party for 7 and spent 12 years on the County Board of Elections, which is a Republican appointment, most of that as chairman. Finally, prior to retirement, I spent 30 years inside what's called the deep state at the United States Department of Agriculture, serving federal farm programs to farmers. To me, Republican values meant diplomacy, statesmanship, personal responsibility, and free trade, certainly. This Republican cult no longer represents any of those values. Now, I voted for Trump, but I also spoke out about the disastrous trade policies he forced upon American agriculture through punitive tariffs against our trading partners. You know, in a real party, everybody has a voice. And while no one always expects to always get their way, everyone should expect to be heard. It's how you build a wide and strong base of support. In Trump's Republican cult, there's no discussion,
All right. I got an FAFO for the red state of Ohio. I've got an FAFO. And also I want the Christians to come to the front. Christians, please come to the front. Ohio voted for Donald Trump. They are canceling free meals for kids, poor kids who have no choice of working and being born. Ohio voted for Donald Trump. Also, Ohio, you're okay with poor kids not getting free meals, sometimes their only meal of the day, so we can spend $200 million on a ballroom for the White House? $200 million for a ballroom at the White House. $49 million one-day birthday party. $300 million for golf in the big, beautiful budget for Donald Trump. Super Bowl weekends, NASCAR weekends. Is this what you voted for? Because it doesn't seem very Christian-like to me. This is an FAFO, but I think, sadly, it's for the kids. Disgusting.
You hear the reports coming out now, right? What are the farmers saying? Donald, please don't go. Please don't take my guys over here. You see, these guys, they're helping me out, so don't take my guys. My guys are helping me. No, they're gone. They're gone. Donald Trump doesn't give a flying fuck about you, bro.
Man, you just saw it, right? Farmers cheering for Trump, Ohio MAGA hyped, full of loyalty, full of hope. And now, look at them. Tariffs crushing crops, kids losing free meals, labor shortages hitting them hard. FAFO, right? This is what happens when you vote for chaos disguised as promises. Trump saw them loyalty, saw them hope, saw them helping farmers. And yet, here we are. They are mad, they are confused, and a lot of them still don't get it. That's the hard part. From tariffs to trade wars, from empty promises to real-world consequences. Today we are diving into the aftermath. These are the Americans who shouted the loudest for him, and now they are living the reality of their choices. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just a reaction, lost, and the full FAFO story. So if you like watching this chaos unfold, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest. Let's go into the video and check it out. Let's do it.
Farmer Chris Gibbs detailed his experience with Trump's devastating tariffs, writing, "For the first time in my 30-plus years in this business, I'm planting in an environment where I have no idea what's coming next. Because of the tariffs, because of the trade war, because of Donald Trump's chaos, American farmers deserve better." Chris Gibbs joins us now. He is a participant in Home of the Brave, a new campaign highlighting how Donald Trump's policies hurt regular Americans. Mr. Gibbs, thank you very much for being here. You stress how the uncertainty around the tariffs are a problem. Other farmers are also citing uncertainty. Say more about that.
Well, in any business, and certainly farming is big business, certainty is one of the things that we treasure. And the uncertainty with the tariffs, particularly the way they've been administered, over first we're on, first we're off. I mean, I need a flow chart to figure out where we're at. It gives us a lot of uncertainty in the business. We need to know what the costs are going to be so that I can incorporate those, just like any other business, into my business plan to continue to survive. And the uncertainty, and the president calls it strategic uncertainty, or maybe the Treasury Secretary or somebody in administration has said that. Well, strategic uncertainty to me looks like just kicking the negotiating partner in the face with sand and trying to confuse them. So that doesn't really work for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
Joe Biden won against Barack Hussein Obama. Funny. It's spelled Fanny. It's spelled Fanny like your ass. And they said, sir, please, don't talk about these people that way. They're Republicans. I said, I don't give a shit. I'm a very popular president. And I can't read this damn teleprompter. We hit them hard. We hit them low. We hit them high. We hit them in the middle. We hit them from on top. And we even came under the ground. Don't pay the teleprompter company because they sent us their criminals. That's why. He is an illegal monster. Who the hell orders 5 burgers? And what's happening with the Catholics? I don't know. I can't even hold this. You're not allowed to say she's beautiful, so I'm not going to say that. Now, who wants to keep it the Cleveland Indians? You know your bite is poisonous. Your bite is poisonous. The Catholics are under siege. Move this over. Great job, fellas. Don't pay these suckers, please. What's your address? Prison. Whoever the hell did that, son of a gun. MAGAnomics. So, Trump's a horrible human being. Trump made a speech that wasn't so good. Trump's been right about everything. Because you are being persecuted. Now I'm being persecuted, I think, more than anybody, but who the hell knows? Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole... That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
Man, look at this energy. Ohio, full of red, loving Trump, shouting his name, waving flags and all that. Loyalty at its peak. But here's the sad part. They are cheering for the very guy who's about to hit them in their wallet. FAFO, right? All that excitement, all that hype, and yet they didn't see it coming. Tariffs, trade wars, job losses, all the promises he made about helping farmers, straight up smoke and mirrors. It's wild because you can see the disconnect. The man on the stage is getting richer, living lavish, and the people in these fields, the same ones screaming his name, are the ones getting crushed. And honestly, it's almost poetic. They voted for him thinking he had their back, thinking he understood their struggles. And now they're paying the price. That's the lesson here. Brand loyalty always comes with consequences. Let's continue.
Farmers are getting hurt very badly by the last administration. The last administration hated our farmers, like at a level that I've never seen before.
That's just hogwash. The reality is the Trump administration is the one that's harming farmers right now as we speak. What do you say, Will?
Well, I think anytime somebody asks Donald Trump a question about agriculture, he looks like a cow looking at a new gate. He has no understanding of what he's talking about. And then my grandpa would say he buries a 10-cent topic in $20 words. He just drones on and on and on. How does a farmer plan with senseless droning? We need real policy, and he ain't the guy to give it to us.
That's right.
I think it's safe to say that no group in the United States has felt the effects of Donald Trump's policies more intensely than American farmers. And I know that's a bold statement, right? We've got them going around right now beating the tar out of people in D.C. with Donald Trump's Gestapo. We have American citizens being rounded up and put in concentration camps. But hear me out when I say that nobody has been more affected by all of Trump's policies than American farmers. And here's why. Obviously, Donald Trump's crackdown on immigration has left crops in the field to rot. And that is according to the farmers themselves. We're starting to see more and more of those reports coming out because they have no workers. The workers are afraid to show up because they are living in fear that they'll be deported, or the workers have already been deported and there's nobody around in the local community willing to come and do this work. So farmers are being hit financially because of that. They don't get as many crops picked. They don't get as many to market. They don't sell as much. They make less money. The second way, of course, they're being screwed, and this has been happening since the first Trump administration, is with his trade policy, the trade war. The tariffs on American produce going to foreign countries have made it to where farmers are selling less overseas. So their income once again takes a hit. They've just been hit all across the board, right? Cuts to Medicaid are going to shut down many of these rural hospitals and doctors' offices that these people depend on. So across the board, everything Trump has done is screwing over this group financially more than any other group. And let's never forget, this is a group that overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump in 2024. But what impacts them impacts the rest of us. And now these farmers have yet another reason to be angry at the Trump administration, specifically what they call the hypocrisy of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The director of Health and Human Services, of course, came into Washington, D.C., raspily telling us about his Make America Healthy Again campaign, because God knows if you want to make America healthy, you need to listen to a guy who sounds like he eats gravel for breakfast. You know, that definitely off to a great start there. But anyway, I know he has a condition. I worked with him for years. I know about the condition. I know about the treatments he's had. I get it, but he's a jackass, so I'm going to act like that, right? I'm not going to go high when they go low. I'm going to go even lower because that's what I do, and I love it. But here's the thing. Kennedy, according to these farmers, came in with all these lofty promises, right? We're going to make America healthy again. We're going to start feeding them real food. And the farmers were excited. They loved that because real food comes from the farmers. It's not this over-processed junk food garbage lining the stores, the shelves of grocery stores. So they thought that Kennedy was basically going to be their savior. And instead, what they've gotten is less than they were getting before the Make America Healthy Again plan came to Washington, D.C. Because back in March, this administration cut a COVID-era program that spent $1 billion in federal money, in our tax dollars, $1 billion, to buy food from small local farmers. Not the factory farms with the animals stuffed into the pens, not the big conglomerate farms, small local farmers. $1 billion across the country. And the food the government purchased went to food banks and schools. We were giving the neediest among us this healthy start. Good, real food produced down the street. It's fresh, it's organic, it's real. That's what we were doing. But in March, this administration killed the program and immediately stopped the payments to farmers. So these farmers at the time, and I sat here and talked about it, were furious. They talked about the fact that we have to lay people off. We had just bought land, some of them said, to continue doing this. And now I don't know how I'm going to pay the mortgage on this land I just bought. I'm screwed. And now after several months of this, once the effects are really felt, they're now lashing out at Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because he's the one who basically said, we're all going to eat healthy. And he has been dead silent about this administration actually cutting out healthy food for people. Here's what one farmer said. If we want to make America healthy again, can we please start with America and the people that are already doing that? Can we stop throwing mud at the very people that are breaking their backs to feed us? And can we let them do their jobs? And can we listen to them?
Yeah, this sums it up. No group in the US has suffered more from Trump's policies than these farmers. Tariffs, trade wars, lost crops, empty promises. It's all reality check. And the thing is, it's not just about money, it's about trust, credibility. They believed the hype, followed the laddie chant, and now they left wondering how everything fell apart. FAFO, folks, you live by your choice and you die by them. It's also a reminder this isn't just a political issue, it's a human. Families losing income, kids losing meals, farmers forced to make impossible decisions, all while the same person they cheered for keeps stocking cash and headlines, right? So yeah, there is no sympathy here, just reality. They pray themselves, and now everyone watching can see exactly what happens when loyalty meets chaos. Alright, that's the full story. Farmers cheering for Trump, Ohio MAGA hyped, loyalty at its peak. And now, look at the aftermath. Tariffs crushing their crops, kids losing meals, labor shortage hitting hard, and the same promises about helping farmers, nothing about empty word. FAFO, right? And honestly, this isn't just about farming. This is a bigger picture. Blind loyalty, racism, and chasing hype always have a price. They cheered the loudest, they voted the hardest, and now they're paying for it. No excuses, no sympathy, reality hits, and it hits hard. It's also a reminder for anyone thinking about blindly following leaders or hype. Look around, study the policies, and understand the consequences. Otherwise, this is exactly what happens. So yeah, these farmers got prayed, Ohio MAGA got prayed, and now everyone watching can see what happens when loyalty meets chaos. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications bell. Don't miss the next FAFO moment. Drop a comment with which clip hit hardest, and let's keep the conversation real. Stay aware, stay awake, and remember, FAFO never lies. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you, and see you to the next video. Love you so much. Wish you love and peace. Bye bye. See you to the next one. See ya.